Well, very good. Yep, we'll go ahead and get started. We have roll call. Looks like we have quorum. Everybody agree on that?
Yep.
Very good. Looks like the second item is to welcome our new board members. Looks like we have Al.
And Justin's not on, so
okay.
he's the other one. I would just suggest that we have Al just introduce himself and tell us a little bit about him, and then let's have all the rest of the board just introduce themselves.
Perfect. Sounds good, Jeff. Al, why don't you go ahead?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the time and thanks for making me a member of the board. I appreciate it. It's kind of nerve-wracking but exciting. And I know most of the pros at the golf courses, and I've talked to Tim and others. So I'm not a lifelong Colorado resident. I moved here 12 years ago for work. I worked at Valley Lab, now known as Medtronic. I retired a year ago, and I mostly, with COVID, just play golf now and enjoy my grandchildren. So I was an IT manager. I managed all of IT infrastructure, they call it, desktop, PCs, users. And prior to that, I had a career as a journeyman steam fitter where I worked in the shipyards building ships. So I've had two different careers slightly.
Yeah.
I'm married for over 30 years. I have 7 children, hers, mine, and ours. And we have 11 grandchildren who recently moved out. So it's really quiet here right now. Just had the inside of the house painted. So, yeah, I enjoy sports. I'm not a Bronco fan. I'm not really a Rockies fan. I'm a Giants and 49ers fan. And, I do hope the best for the Broncos because they're in the AFC. And I do want the Rockies to do better than they have, although they're in the same division as the Giants. So that's pretty much about me. I used to own a motorhome. I traveled quite a bit in the western part of the United States. And in the future, with the wife and I'd like to see more of the eastern part of the United States. And I haven't seen enough of Colorado, really. I have a lot left to do here in Colorado to see and do. So that's about me.
Great, thanks, Al. Yeah, my name's Earl Ingalls. I'm headed into my 3rd term here with the board. Still working, thank goodness. Aside from the COVID stuff, working at home. Which is good, playing a lot of golf as well. Marshall, why don't you go ahead?
Marshall Allen. This is the beginning of my 2nd year on the board. Moved here from Oklahoma 13 years ago. Have loved every minute of it. Ready to get back out and play golf as the wind will stop and the snow will stop. That's it for now.
I'll go next. I'm Marcia Elgar. This is my 2nd year on the board as well. I've been in Colorado since '84 and had a long career in finance and retired 3 years ago and picked golf back up. And I'm Keith's new best friend, I think, at Twin Peaks. I head up the ladies 18-hole league out there, and I'm trying to start a new casual league at Ute Creek for ladies 18 holes. So love golf, love being outside.
Thank you. John? You're on mute there, John.
Testing, hello. So I'm graduated from the Naval Academy in 1961. I was in the Navy for 10 years in submarines. And I wondered if Al, if you ever worked on a submarine. And after I left that, got into healthcare software, have installed major hospital information systems, lab systems, pharmacy systems, radiology systems, et cetera. So I'm well versed in the healthcare field. Moved here about 12 years ago. Prior to that, my wife and I, the previous 20 years, had moved 20 times. So we never had lived in one spot. And so it was very unusual for me to be in one area for any length of time. And the house I'm living in now is the house I've lived in more than any other house in my whole life. So it's quite an experience. We love Longmont, love playing golf. I only started playing when I was 55, but really, really enjoy it. I love meeting the people on the golf course and in the pro shop, et cetera. So I feel very fortunate to be on the board. I really look forward to it, and I hope I can provide some help and service to our community. So thanks an awful lot.
Thank you, John. Jeff, do you want to go through yourself and Tim as well, or?
No, let's let Tim go. And I do want to do a couple introductions of some new staff that are on here tonight, but let's let Tim go first.
Very
Good evening,
Go ahead,
Golf
Tim.
Committee. I've been a member of the City Council now for 3 years, and appreciate the fact that I was assigned as liaison to the Golf Committee. Before getting on council, I was trying to figure out how to become a member of the Golf Committee, and I couldn't qualify. So I was able to get on City Council. So you ought to know that it requires more to become a member of the Golf Committee than it does to become a member of City Council in terms of connections and status. I retired in 2014 from a 45-year career in education. I've been an avid golfer since I was 13. And in these days, when people say, "What do you do?" I say, "Well, I'm a professional golfer with a negative cash flow."
So, and then I would like to introduce Dan Reese and Ryan Hennings. In this past December, we had a very unusual thing. For the last 27 years, up to 39 years, we had two golf supervisors that had been with the city that long, and they both decided to retire in December. So Ryan and Dan are acting golf supervisors. Dan is at U Creek. Ryan is over Twin Peaks and Sunset. So thank you guys for being here tonight.
Dan and
Thank you, guys. Welcome to the team here. Appreciate it. So the other item here on number 2 is to elect a chair, elect a vice chair. Do we have any nominations for chair?
I elect you, Earl.
I would second that, it's Marshall.
Okay. Thank you very much, Marcia. Appreciate that. Accepted. Elect a vice chair.
So we do need to have a vote
All right,
if there aren't any other nominations for the chair.
I agree.
I move he be
Once we-
elected by unanimous vote.
Okay.
That needs to be seconded, really, I think.
I'll second that.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate that. Second item is vice chair. Do we have a nomination? I nominate Marcia.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Favors? All in favors?
Aye.
Aye.
It looks like we have unanimous there, Marcia.
Great. Thank you.
Next agenda item, number 3, approval of the agenda. I hope you all had a chance to look over that. We have motion to approve the agenda.
So made.
Second?
I'll second it.
All righty. Then we have approval of the previous month's minutes. We had that last October. We have a motion to approve the minutes.
I move that we approve October 26 minutes.
I'll second.
And a second.
Got it.
Very good. Approved. Into the next item, communications with our team members at the different golf courses, the monthly reports. Who wants to go first? Keith, you're on screen already, so why don't you go first?
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Well, we ended up the year in rather impressive fashion. I think Twin Peaks, we got 38,038 rounds for the year, which is, in my 15 years at Twin Peaks, the most rounds we've ever played in one year. And that reflected very nicely in the revenue at Twin Peaks. We got to 1.157 million. That's just amazing. So as difficult of a year as it was for everybody, and it was difficult, and it was a hard year to get through as far as all the different protocols and the different things, and it was a moving target all the time, and it still is. We managed to just pull it all together and had a great year. I can't say enough about maintenance crew putting together a golf course that could withstand that amount of play, and how busy we were, and all the disinfecting of the carts. And Ryan was in charge. Ryan, who we all just met, was in charge of the disinfecting for the carts and scheduling that and hiring people to do that. And that was a big deal. And like I mentioned back in October, Jeff's leadership through this time was amazing for all of us. And none of us knew what to expect or what was coming next. And to have a record year, and I mean, you can look at the numbers and see how we did, and see there at the very bottom right of the money report, we had a really good year in golf. So super thankful, super appreciative. And, the customers were a little rough early on us. And as the summer wore on, everyone got more patient and more understanding. And we're just really thankful to be on the golf course.
Yeah.
And the guys at the front desk didn't have such a hard time with people not wearing masks, and everyone started to wear masks, and it got a lot easier. And I'm not going to say it felt normal, but it definitely got a lot easier as the summer went on for all of us. Mm-hmm. So I think that's all for Twin Peaks. I'd take any questions if anybody has any.
I actually have a question. I think the COVID protocol will probably stay in place for a while, it sounds like, probably even maybe through summer. What are the plans for the pins and the rakes?
That is probably something we're going to be determining. We have a meeting this week, and I think in our meeting it'll be the maintenance group and golf staff and pros and Jeff, and we will be revisiting what we can and can't do as far as all that stuff goes, and hopefully we at some point can get those back out.
Are you going to try to be consistent with all with the three courses as well then too?
Yes.
As of last Wednesday, there have been no change to the guidelines, so it's here to stay for a while, I think.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job, Keith.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Ryan.
All right. Well, for Sunset, I kind of have to follow suit with what Keith was saying there with, maintenance side of things, and with Jeff being, with everything going on in the world and all the different projects and everything that had to be put on hold and issues that would come up because of COVID. I mean, the leadership that we have is unbelievable right now. For Sunset, we ended the year at 31,211 rounds. That is definitely the highest rounds I've seen at Sunset. And revenue just breaking over $500,000, which was about just under 100,000 more than we did in 2019. So we did to see that kind of growth and the amount of people that we've had. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same for all three facilities, but the amount of players that we've seen that we don't necessarily know or recognize from the community it's just unbelievable. The amount of players, I've never seen a tee sheet at Sunset without limitations or with these limitations 100%. And during the summer, June, July, once we got really kicking, August, it was hard. I mean, you're trying to squeeze people into a tee sheet if you have an availability to do so. But when we were limited with the carts, the cleaning procedures that needed to be done to help disinfect and protect the customers, I mean, it was a struggle, but we made it work, and I'm excited. I'm hoping this year continues that trend of keeping those golfers here. You know, I hope they're here to stay. Any questions for Sunset? Nope. Got one, twice, sold. All right.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate your time. Sam, is Sam on? There you are,
Hello,
Sam.
can y'all hear me? Can you see me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hi, everybody. Welcome board members, and Al, welcome to the board, buddy. Really looking forward to working with you. I got to know Al pretty well this last couple of years. It's kind of funny. I want to share a little bit of a funny story with you. But when you started at the golf course, I have a tendency of finding nicknames for people. And when I first met Al, I noticed this guy's got these forearms like this. So I started calling him Popeye. And he said, you know, Sam, I used to work on a shipyard and my nickname was Popeye. So his nickname continues on. He's a great guy. Looking forward to working with you, Al. So yes, it was a great year. But also one more thing. Right before the meeting today, I was checking my emails, and I got this email from Golf Advisor. And Ute Creek, I just printed the certificate off, was rated, they do the top 25 courses in the state. Ute Creek was rated number 19.
Yay.
But listen to this. I went out and checked it all out, and Ryan, you may not have got the email yet, but you're rated number 15. So great job, buddy.
Wow, awesome.
The courses in Longmont are in the top 25, so that's really some cool news.
That is awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, that's good and bad. It makes me getting a tee time a lot harder.
Just take some of that spinach. You'll get some of that spinach to that pipe, and you'll get right on, buddy.
That's a great job by all of you. I mean, I told you this in person, and I told Jeff this, man. It's just been an amazing year playing golf in Longmont, and the people I meet that come from all over Colorado to play these courses.
Thanks, Al. Okay, yeah, as Keith and Ryan mentioned, 2020 really was a very unique and very good year for golf. Our rounds were almost 42,000 rounds, which I didn't think we'd ever see a year over 40,000. And to reach 42,000 was really quite remarkable. We had 30,408 in 2019. And our revenues in 2019 were 1,334,000. 2020, over 1.7 million. So we did over almost $373,000 in revenue more in 2020 than 2019. 2019 was a record year. After 2019, going into 2020, we knew we'd be hard pressed even to ever see those kind of numbers again. And we blew them out of the water. It was really just an amazing year. So all of us golf course operators, we need to do everything we can to make golf accessible to all these new players, keep it fun, and do everything we can to keep these folks in the game. So I'm looking really forward to 2021. A couple other numbers I just really want to mention. We had to really try to cut down on our points of contact. We're talking about sanitizing carts and everything, but we also had to be very careful about people coming in the door. We did online only for a while there, which we have got to continue that because we had about 25% of our rounds were prepaid, which tremendously helped with our utilization, our revenue per round. We had to do very little discounting this year because the demand was so high. So our per round revenue was $41. Our typical year is like $35 per round. So in every single way, it's been a great year. Looking forward to 2021. Looking forward to getting things back to normal. hosting tournaments again. Marcia, looking very forward to that league coming out. Thank you very much for doing that. That's going to be fun. But yeah, and no face mask. Can't wait for no more face mask again. That's all I got. Any questions for you, Creek?
Thanks.
Thank
No,
you.
that's great, Sam. Thank you.
Yep.
Jeff, do you have anything that you want to add for this section here?
No, I just would echo what Brian and Keith and Sam said. They did a great job, all the three pros and all their staff, and the maintenance guys, I can't say enough about them either. They were out there every day, never complained, and did a great job. So thank you to all of them.
Yep, here.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you. Not aware of any public that needs to be heard.
Let's just check. Hey, Steph.
Unless Danielle had anyone who contacted her that they wanted to join the meeting, then we don't have anyone, and I don't believe that we had anyone do that.
Okay.
We
All right, thank you.
don't have anybody.
Okay.
All right, very good. Appreciate that. Any old business? It looks like from an agenda perspective, there's no old business. Any items last minute?
No.
Okay.
Can I just ask, what did the city council decide on the Ute Creek maintenance building?
What did council?
Didn't it go to council after we meet?
No, it didn't. Let's go through the new business, and then I'll talk about that under items from staff, kind of let you know where we're at.
Sounds great.
Okay, from a new business perspective, we're looking at a meeting day and time. The proposed is the fourth Monday, and I'm guessing we're still looking at a 6 p.m. time. We have motion or any other ideals associated with that? Need a motion on that?
Yes.
I'll make the motion, Marshall.
I'll second it.
Okay. Meeting location, currently obviously under protocols. I imagine we'll still be doing Zoom, but in other cases, we have Twin Peaks as our location. Do we have a motion?
I'll move that we continue to meet at 12 Twin Peaks.
I'll second.
Jeff, designation for posting the agendas and the agenda calendar. Look for your guidance here.
We have new direction from our legal staff, and we are asking that the board designate the city website as the official location for people to find our agenda and packet and past agendas. We will still continue to post those at the recreation facilities, but we would only make the motion that the online would be our primary location.
So
Okay.
that would be even in lieu of distribution by way of email for the committee?
No, that's
Okay.
just for the general public if they want to find out what you all are doing.
Okay, and they've been posted there before, right, on the city website?
Yes, they have, but that's the official one and no
Okay.
other one at this time.
Got it.
Okay. So based upon that information, do we have a motion for posting to the city website for agendas and packets?
Move it be approved.
I'll second.
Second? Very good. Into item number 9, items from the staff.
So we
And,
still had
Jeff?
one item D, agenda calendar. under new business.
Oh, okay. Yep, I apologize.
So we included in your packet proposed schedule for the 2021 meetings, and just wanted to know if you had any feedback on that, or if there were any items that you wanted to have added. We have listed some months where we have no meetings. A couple of years ago, the board had made the decision to meet every other month. We can meet every month based on your interests, but trying to take a combination of that, we proposed not meeting in March, June, September, and then possibly November, December, depending on what we have for business. Just
Yeah,
wanted your
I
feedback.
agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that calendar. Anybody else have any other input associated with that?
Looks good to me.
Motion to accept the calendar.
So made.
Second.
Second.
Motion passed. Items from the staff. Minister Friesen.
Yep. So every couple of months, we'll talk about the current status of the bond projects that were passed in 18. We are about ready to go to bid for the irrigation design for Sunset and at Twin Peaks. The maintenance building, we had moved forward with the central location. And a couple of weeks ago, we ran into an issue with the neighbors where we made what I will call a significant mistake in what was included in the submittal to the planning department. And our consultant used some language in there that really wasn't, I will say, too polite to them, and we needed to do a better job. So we have pulled the submittal for the maintenance building from planning, and we with the city manager will start revisiting other options as we move forward in the next month or so. So that project's really on hold right now.
Anybody have any questions associated with that at all for Jeff?
I just had a question. What was going to bid the irrigation system for both, was it for both Sunset and Twin Peaks or just Sunset?
Both of them for the design.
Okay.
Is there any significant impact having to resubmit for the maintenance building? You know, the wording? I thought I listened to the council meeting, they were just gonna have them reword it.
Well, we're gonna take a step back and look to see if we need to be good neighbors, and we need to make sure that we're having additional conversations with them, as well as looking at other options for the design build of that facility. I'm hoping that by the February meeting, I will have some more to report to you on that in the status.
Okay. Any other items or topic that you wanted to talk about, Jeff?
Nope.
All right. On to agenda item number 10. Any items from the board?
I don't know how important this is. Can you hear me, number one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just as an aside, I have a master's degree in computer science in 1968, and I can't figure out when I'm muted and not. So I just want you to know that. Also, I've got an annual pass, and I've got some friends that have the annual pass that are over, I think, over 70 or 75 or whatever it is. we were closed, what, for about a month this last year, or how long much were we closed?
I think it was 36 or 37 days.
Should we consider adding a month to these annual passes or not?
What we've decided to do is for the number of days that we were closed, we'll add that to all of the annual passes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That number is 37.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And they've already been added.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Great, perfect. Any other items from the board? No? Okay. That looks like our full agenda. Any last minute items at all? If not, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Very good, folks. Certainly appreciate your time. Everybody have a great evening. We'll see you next time around.
Good night, everybody. Take care.
See ya.
Great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, take care.